Hello and welcome to my first trimester vlog. So I'm actually 21 and a half weeks right now filming this. I kept putting it off every week. But anyway, felt like it was about time to film this and upload it to YouTube because I've now actually announced pregnancy on my Instagram. So through my first trimester, I was filming like weekly updates of how I was feeling. So I wanted to share that with you. It's pretty real. Not gonna lie, I kind of played down some of the anxiety a little bit because you worry that you're gonna cause other people to spiral. So let me just pre-warn, in this video I'm going to talk about amenorrhea, PCOS, early miscarriage and pregnancy anxiety. So if you think anything is going to trigger you or cause any spiraling thoughts, or if you're watching it and it's not making you feel good, obviously just don't watch it. But hopefully you'll be able to take a lot of positives from it as well. So before I show you like my weekly updates, I figured I could take you through the journey that's kind of got me here. So I'm Lauren Hamilton. I am a online and in-person health and fitness coach. I'm also a mum of an almost 3-year-old, which is really scary. It makes me filled with many emotions. And I'm also expecting due in January 2026. Absolutely fabulous timing for a PT and online coach. So if you haven't followed my journey, or even if you have actually, you may not know about kind of the last few years and even kind of the journey I went through before I had Harper. So I'm going to kind of use this intro just to talk about it. And then I can show you my weekly updates. So I'm going to rewind quite a lot because I'm going to go back to when I was like 14 or 15, I think. Had some acne going on. Obviously it was hormonal at the time, but you know, you're young, not cool at school to have it. So the doctor says, naturally, go on the pill, it will get rid of it. So I got put on Milanet, I think, and I stayed on that till I was probably about, I'm trying to think when I met Carl because it's a couple of years after, maybe 19 or 20. And I started getting a lot of migraines and headaches. So that's when they moved me onto the mini pill. And I stayed on the mini pill for, oh God, I should have planned my speech because I can't think off the top of my head how many years. Well, technically till I was 27. So let's say I had 7 or 8 years on the mini pill. I took that straight through as you do. So I never even had like the withdrawal bleed or anything. And then in 2020, I did a nutrition coaching course. And in that we covered like pre and postnatal, menstrual health, PCOS, menopause, you know, everything surrounding female health. And I didn't know at the time, I had no idea actually that the pill suppressed like your real hormones. It doesn't get rid of things, it masks things. Obviously there are benefits for some people being on the pill, so I wouldn't want to put you off. But for me, I was like, I don't want to be on this. I want to know what my hormones are doing. So skip to January 21. I came off the pill, bought all my supplies, and 6 months later, I was still waiting. Nothing. So I went to the doctors. They did some tests, some blood tests, everything else. I actually went private because the NHS were just so slow and unhelpful. And she was like, oh, it's the mini pill, so it can take longer to regulate your cycle. So, you know, come back to me in a few months' time. So still nothing. I went back to my NHS nurse. This was probably November time. Bear in mind, I'd come off it in January. And I think she said then there was like a potential that I could have had PCOS. But she said to me, healthy couples can take 6 months to a year normally to conceive anyway. So she said, when you start trying, you know, if you haven't fell pregnant within a year, come back. So I relayed this information to Carl. I had my gym photo shoot like mid-December. Then we was like, okay, well, we'll just start because we've probably got like a good 6 months anyway. And then after my photo shoot, I stopped exercising for a bit. I was trying to gain a little bit of weight because I was like, maybe I've got amenorrhea, maybe that's the issue. And then literally like 6 weeks after, there was just something in me that I was like, I feel off. So I did a pregnancy test and I was pregnant. I obviously ovulated without having an actual period. So it's possible to fall pregnant that way. But oh my God, every single appointment, having to explain that to doctors and nurses, it was so long-winded. Every appointment, it was date of last period. I was like, haven't had one. What? No, I haven't had one since I was like, well, natural one since I was like 14, 15. Yeah, it was fun to explain. But anyway, I had some anxiety during that pregnancy. I think I remember going to the hospital like, I don't know what I would have been, like 6 or 7 weeks. And I felt like I was having really bad stomach pains, convincing myself something bad was happening, and it was like absolutely fine. Like, how embarrassing when they're like, no, it's probably just gas, drink some peppermint tea. I was like, oh, fab. And yeah, from then on, it was a pretty smooth pregnancy. I felt quite sick like most days in my first one. I went off so many foods, and I only wanted like chips and Chinese, chocolate, Subways, like all that kind of thing. And I think by week 12, that had sort of worn off a little bit, and the rest was pretty smooth. So fast forwarding, I had Harper. Birth was very quick, and a few things happened after, but I'll talk about that probably in my second trimester intro. And then I was breastfeeding for 7.5 months, like solely breastfeeding. Then I combi fed until she was like 9 months. My period just didn't return until I was about 10.5 months postpartum, I would say. Like, some people get it when they drop night feeds. I just didn't get that. I think I don't know, my body's just susceptible to not having them, I guess. And then they were very regular. God knows what month that's in. We're somewhere in 2023. Anyway, then we're coming into 2024, which was year of the wedding. Tragically, sadly, we lost my mother-in-law at the end of 2023. So to be honest, 2024 in itself was just very stressful. The start of it was very, very stressful. So in terms of my period health, that was just up and down. And then I got leaner, and then they just disappeared. So it was obviously amenorrhea. My body fat was like super, super, super low. So I had the wedding. I literally stopped like my exercise, ate a lot. I think I gained a couple of kilos very quickly, and then my cycles returned. So they went regular again. I say regular, I think they was regular for like 2 months. And then suddenly it was delayed. And then suddenly I felt a little bit sick for a couple of weeks. I thought I started off with like a food poisoning type thing, wasn't sure. Then I thought I had something viral. And then on New Year's Eve in the morning, trigger warning, I'm about to talk about miscarriage, so if you need to turn off or whatever, do it. New Year's Eve in the morning, so I came on my period. By the afternoon, the pain was just not manageable, and I just knew. Like, I went to hospital, to A&E, and then I had to wait ages while I was in pain, and this was late afternoon. Then they took me to early pregnancy unit, and by that point, the pain wasn't as bad. But again, I still kind of knew. And they said your HCG levels suggest your early pregnancy. They told me what the bleeding could be. Again, I knew. But they couldn't scan me because it was too late in the day. The next day was New Year's Day, so there was no one in to scan. So I had to go back in like at 8 a.m. on the 2nd of January. So I did what we should never do, and I spent like 2 days on Mumsnet looking at everyone's different stories. Do not recommend. Do not do it. Yeah, and then on the 2nd of Jan, obviously they could confirm. Doesn't obviously end there, even with an early miscarriage. You have to then have another blood test just to make sure your levels are dropping, because they want to make sure it's not ectopic. Fortunately, it wasn't. So I got the phone call, I can't remember if it was late that day or the next day, just to say like levels have dropped enough. Like, obviously you're just going to bleed for the next week, and then you have to do another test to make sure it's negative after a week and let them know. So that was kind of that. If my pain hadn't been so bad, I think I genuinely thought it was a period. That's what it felt like. But yeah, it was quite tough mentally, to be fair. It was a year on as well from losing my mother-in-law, so emotions were just high, really crappy. And yeah, you can either grovel in it, or you can just pick yourself up, journal, meditate, work out, started eating better. We just got ourselves in a really good headspace, had some family time, and was like, right, okay, we know now how much we want this, so we need to work at it. So they did say, wait a cycle before you start trying again. So I was like, absolutely, because I want to make sure it's okay. So I waited for my period to come, and I actually started acupuncture as well. So it came after 35 days. So that was pretty good. I was like, cool. Let's just see what happens now. So anyway, then we get to February, and then I'm having this really long cycle. And I was like, I'm not pregnant, tested to double check, but I could feel that I wasn't. So I was like, okay, something's probably up. So I think it was like day 60 to 61. I went and had a blood test. And then literally like the next day I came on. So I was like, oh, do you know what? Maybe it was a blip, because in that time I'd played around with my eating a little bit. I'd had a month of exercise, so I wasn't sure if that was impacting it. I was like, maybe I just stressed myself out so much in that time that, yeah, it just threw it off. So continued as normal. And then the next cycle was going on, and I was like, oh, here we go. So I think on like day 40 something, I was like, let's just book that scan that I was supposed to have booked alongside the blood test, see what happens. So I had a scan, and they were like, yeah, you got, called me in the next day actually, which is really scary when they say come in for an urgent appointment the next day. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? But yeah, she was like, you've got extra follicles in your ovaries, you've got long cycles. So that's 2 of the 3 Rotterdam criteria. Helpful as ever. Oh, you know, you're lean PCOS, so just maintain your weight. Love it, great advice. So I came away and I was like, oh, I've got some work to do. Research it, see what steps I can take, what supplements I can take. Yeah, then had like my 30th birthday. So I was like, well, I'm just going to enjoy some drinks after having a year where I've looked at the 6 months where I've been trying to be so good at everything. I'll just relax. Then went to Tenerife, and I did a little cut before Tenerife to feel good. And then when I got there, I was like, why do I feel horrendous? Like my bloating was so bad and uncomfortable. Cole obviously didn't say it at the time, but afterwards he was like, yeah, that was quite bad. I think Sarah was trying to be polite. I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. And then probably a week after I got back, actually, random, had bleeding gums, and I only have ever had that in my first pregnancy, or like if I haven't flossed for months on end, which also happens, but just through brushing doesn't happen. So anyway, I felt really weird, and then I kept thinking, nope, I can't be because of PCOS. But anyway, did a test and it was positive. So it turned out on my ultrasound I was like 2 weeks, which is too early for them to pick up on an ultrasound. So then I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So I phoned the early pregnancy unit. So I was like, I don't have a date because of my potential PCOS. And obviously I had an early miscarriage. So they said at the time you could be eligible for an early scan. So I called them, booked in, and obviously you'll see that part anyway. Had a scan at what they dated was 7-ish weeks. But I think now going back, that was probably more like 8 weeks. But yeah, that is a journey. So both pregnancies, well, technically 3, very interesting journeys. We've had amenorrhea, we've had PCOS, you know, first time I fell pregnant without even having an actual period for years, and yeah, here we are today. So I think all of that combined, especially this year, is why my anxiety has been through the roof. Like, it's been consuming. I think I've played it down a bit in the videos because it's hard. I don't want to, it's really hard. You don't want to burden the people around you with how you're feeling anyway. And yeah, it's just a lot. It's like, you know, you tell someone and then you regret it because you're like, is it okay? I think it's quite, even my first one, I was anxious anyway. Naturally, you always are. I still am. But yeah, it felt very heightened and very consuming. So kind of sad about it, really. Wouldn't have wanted it to be that way, but you can't help it. Your hormones are heightened. And I didn't really have half as many symptoms as I did first time around. So I think that like contributes as well. But you know, but now I'm at a really nice stage because I'm feeling kicks. So at least I've got that going every night, which is like your reassurance. But yeah, I think obviously the further along you get, everything feels a bit lighter. But anyway, now that you've got my long history of everything, you know, just know if you are someone who's going through something, your cycles are being weird, you know, we was all put on the pill far too young, without any explanations or, you know, good enough reasoning, I think, for a lot of people. But you know, if you're going through something, just trust in your body and the process. And you know, especially like people reached out to me when I said I had PCOS and was like, oh, I'm really worried. And I always tell the story of the fact that I fell pregnant with Harper with no periods, because everyone needs that hope. So just don't get too caught up on it, because yeah, my journey's been really interesting. God knows what will happen postpartum and everything else, but we'll worry about that at that time. So anyway, I hope that wasn't too triggering or spiraling for anyone. It's quite interesting going back on the last few years, really. But yeah, I hope you enjoy watching my first trimester vlog. I'm going to start with just a couple of reactions of a few of them that we managed to film, and then you'll just get the weekly updates to go through. So yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. And yes, if you're on your own journey, then I'm sending you all the baby dust, all the love, and yeah, I'm going to keep you posted. So, oh God, it's taken me till 20 weeks to film this intro. So, or second trimester, 28 weeks. So I've still got 6 to 7 weeks until I finish my second trimester vlog, and I will try and get that up instantly, she says. I basically just have to try and pick a day that I wear makeup, which is quite rare. But anyway, enjoy. Number 2.
No way! Oh my god! Oh my god, there's no comment! Oh god, you ruined every comment on it! Oh my god! Are you trying? Have we got room for one more? Got this, so I can milk it at the airport. Do you have space for a little one? I know. Look, I know. What have we got?
Do you know what that is?
Can you see what is it?
What is it?
What is it? Don't ruin it.
Do you know what it is? It's a little baby. And do you know where that baby is? That's your t-shirt.
Do you know what it says?
Look.
It says Harper's gonna be a big sister. Good morning. It's Sunday the 15th of June and it's 3 days since this. Still in shock. I kept thinking I want to vlog or video something. I don't know. I was diagnosed with PCOS a few weeks ago, told I might need help with fertility, and then now there's a positive test, but they've been wrong before, so there we go. I'm actually going to go and buy some more from Morrison's though, just to like triple check. So I'm going to do 2 more today, and I have a scan booked tomorrow. So the reason I actually decided to test was on holiday. I was like super bloated, like ridiculously, and yeah, it was all inclusive, but I actually was not overboard, and I was like, I could feel it was extreme. Then, very random, but during pregnancy, last time, the odd time, like my gums were bleeding, and that happened twice on holiday, and I was like, that's weird. And then Carl said that I snore one night, and again, that's only ever happened if I was really drunk or during pregnancy. So I was thinking about it, and then the other night I actually woke up to a little bit of like pink spotting. I was like, oh, that's random. Could be that I'm going to come on. Didn't come on, and then I thought, screw it, I'll just try to see what happens. And then it was positive, so I called the early pregnancy unit because of my PCOS, obviously because of a bit of spotting, and if you've had an early miscarriage before, you are entitled to an early scan. So I'm in tomorrow for a scan. So I want to triple check that I didn't do 2 tests that were just, I don't know, off their game or something before I go in tomorrow, because that would be kind of embarrassing. But I feel, other than, actually hang on, I feel pregnant because of this. Like I felt, I don't know if you can really see it, I literally feel huge. I feel like I'm giving like 12 weeks pregnant vibes, and I'm probably only about 6 maybe. But I'm very bloated. By the end of the day, once I've been on 1 meal, I literally look massive. So, you know, kind of hoping I am, otherwise I've got something else going on. But other than that, I haven't really felt much. I've been sticking to all my supplements I bought, and when I was diagnosed with PCOS, like vitamin D, there's like myoinositol with folic acid in, the NAC tablets, and magnesium at night. Maybe that's why I feel really good. The week before I went on holiday, I literally had such a strong week. Like I was so happy, full of energy, like felt really good. So I'm hoping this just stays as it is. But I have bought the proper like pregnant care ones, but I don't want to start taking them until I've had tomorrow's scan. Yeah, I just want to do that first. I feel excited, but a little bit nervous as well, naturally. I know I feel really anxious tomorrow. But yeah, what an absolute whirlwind of the last few months. Yeah, typically I haven't drunk that all year as well. And then I got told I've got PCOS, so I was like, well, it's my 31st day, I'm just going to drink and enjoy. And then on holiday I had a few here and there, nothing mega. But that makes me stressed. Even though it was Harper, I had no idea. Literally, I was out and about all over Christmas, like shots, binge drinking, the works, but still you can't help but panic, especially when you've had like an early miscarriage before, because I feel like that's going to be on my brain the whole time. The other thing of having an early miscarriage is you've spent like months on Mumsnet looking at all the possibilities, all the things people have been through. So again, you're like, I'm trying to remove them from my mind and just be really positive, but starting my day with like a bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation, and we'll try and keep that up. Just feel good. But yeah, feels really weird talking on this. I know it's gonna be a while to actually share it, so yeah, exciting. Don't know when I'm going to tell people, because if this carries on, I'm not going to be able to hide it for very long. I've ordered like a couple of tops off ASOS, like vest ones, like baggier, like my PT. But again, I'm just going to wait till tomorrow until I buy anything more. I think I need a couple of flowy dresses. That is the problem, isn't it? When you live in like crop tops and fitted things, you can't get away with this kind of thing. So yeah, but anyway, need to go shopping soon. Get two more, double check. And you know, if it's wrong, then this video will probably never be released. So Monday the 16th of June, God, it was the longest morning of my whole life. It's been a really long weekend, but I had my scan at the early pregnancy unit. Oh my God, I was so nervous. I think they could tell. And then as I was having my scan, she said, you know, have you got one already? And I said, yes, I have. And she's like, oh, well, you've got another one right here. And she flung the screen around, and then I cried. And she actually printed off, because Carl couldn't be there, so she printed off 3 little pictures. Oh, so I honestly don't know how I'm so bloated right now, because this is tiny. But she said like the spotting was implantation bleeding that I experienced, and I might get a little bit more of that, which is absolutely fine and normal. The heart rate was really good. She said miscarriage rate drops by 5% if they have heard the heartbeat. I said I still don't want to cut my chickens. I hate feeling like that, because I am excited, but you just, like, even through first pregnancy I was really nervous anyway, like you're anxious, but obviously now through experience I am even more nervous. So I am 6 weeks and 6 days, so I'll be 7 weeks tomorrow. I'm going to download that pregnancy app, and I've got to register my pregnancy to get like my bloods done in the next couple of weeks and stuff. So fingers crossed for just a smooth, easy process. I can't tell if I felt sick today because I'm nauseous, or just because I've been really nervous. But yeah, unless I'm given a reason not to feel positive and good about it all, I'm just gonna take it all in my stride. But I can't wait to kind of tell people. It's gonna feel so long. 7 weeks tomorrow, so what's that? 5 weeks until like the miscarriage risk drops obviously a lot more, and you have your 12-week scan. That's just before I go to Washington, and then yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna share it. I said maybe like 16-17 weeks I would like to have a private gender scan again, and maybe then share it. I just don't know, 12 weeks still seems really soon. But yeah, might go in and cry.
Good morning. So we're at 8 weeks and 2 days. So I thought I'd do a little update. So I haven't updated since I had the scan at 7 weeks. So after that scan at 7 weeks, I had like 4 days where I napped for like 2 hours in the day. And I was like, God, is this going to be a thing? So I don't know if I've got time for that. But that actually fizzled out, and I'm more tired than normal. Like, it's harder to get up, but not doing that bad. So that's good. I've got a few workouts in, and I actually haven't changed anything. Actually, one thing, I've stopped hip thrust and I put in glute drive, just because I can put the pad a bit lower down. I just don't want to put a heavy pad on here, but some people do it like quite far along in their pregnancy. Whatever is most comfortable for you. But the training itself I haven't actually changed, and I had a really good lower workout the other day. I still feel really strong. Whereas in my first pregnancy, second time I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I need to follow all the rules that I said. Like, I cut pull-ups, I cut this, I cut the heavy stuff, and by the time I got to my second trimester, I was like, I think that was really unnecessary. So I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm just gonna keep going. And yeah, there's been a couple of sessions where I really felt tired and been like, oh, I cannot be bothered, and then they've been fine. So sometimes it's mind over matter. But aside from that, I've not really had many symptoms, which is a good thing, but then you can't also help but worry. Like with my first, I felt pretty nauseous every day. I went off quite a lot of foods. I couldn't eat veg and stuff like that. It was all chips, Subways, trying to eat all stuff that I never normally eat. Whereas this time around, there were a few things I think I'm a bit like, ugh, don't want to eat that anymore. Like protein mousse we have every single night.
I just don't like it at the moment. I don't like the smell of it on its own, even though the same protein goes in my oats. And I'm not having hot oats and coffee. I'm just a bit, which is why I think some people might just get it because I live on iced lattes. And recently I've ended up getting milkshakes instead, which is completely out of character. But yeah, aside from that, I'm not really feeling anything mega, which is a good thing. You just kind of have to get on. Like, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a scan, private one, an extra one, next Saturday, just for that reassurance. Had the midwife phone, so I've booked in a midwife appointment next week. So when I turn 9 weeks and 2 days, and what else? Oh, the blood test. I need to do my bloods just before that, and then my actual scan is Wednesday, the 23rd of July, literally the day before I go to Washington. So yeah. Also, I was speaking to the nurse, I've been off on the phone, like, it's okay for me to travel. Like, I did it again in my first pregnancy. I did Vegas, Marbella, Cyprus, and somewhere else, can't remember. But same rules apply. It's just like you just be mindful. Obviously, you have to check the government advice and make sure it's always good to travel with Zika virus and stuff going on. But Washington is all good. It's just very hot there, and obviously it's a long travel, so good old compression socks. But that's my 8-week update. I'm also gonna do, maybe the next part of this will be like what I've been eating in the day, so you can see. And today's gonna be an unusual day though, because I'm out and about. But every morning I have my overnight oats for breakfast, and then I've really been loving like chicken salad sandwiches. And my client mentioned Greg's yesterday. Maybe if you're watching this is your fault. And I haven't stopped thinking about Greg's chicken salad sandwiches, so I feel like I've got to find one today. But yeah, I've been having chicken sandwiches. I've been having like normal, like my chicken sausages or chicken, or like turkey meatballs or something with like couscous, veg. For dinners, lunches have been like sweet potato and avocado and stuff. So I've been eating really well this time. So I don't know where it's at the weather, because last time my first trimester would have been January to March, and obviously this is, what is this, May to July, I guess. Yeah, so it's a lot warmer, the weather's different, so maybe it's my factor different things, I don't know. Or maybe it's just a boy, I don't know. And yes, we're going to find out. Everyone always asks about this, like, well, obviously they don't know yet, but they will. Are you going to find out the gender? We are. And I always hate when people come back and they're like, oh, but don't you want it as a surprise? Like, why do you need to find out? It is a surprise. At whatever point you find out, it's a nice surprise. I want to know, because I want to know if I need to buy a new wardrobe, or we can hand me down all the bits that I've saved. I want to know something names. I've actually been looking at names. I'm really, really struggling for both. So yeah, that would be good. And you know what, like, as people have these beautiful moments when they give birth and they find out gender, but if I think back to when I gave birth to Harper, I just wanted it done. Wouldn't have cared if it was an alien coming out at that point. So, you know, I'd rather find out with my family around. Last time we did a massive gender reveal, and that was really beautiful, finding out with everyone, really exciting. This time I think we're going to do it differently, because Carl's America trip is like an awkward time, and I think the 20-week falls around Harper's birthday, which I don't want to overshadow again like we did last year because of our wedding. So I think we might actually just do a private scan and have the room lit up, and just me and Harper find out that way, and then we can share it with family and friends from there. So yeah, that's another part, but that is a long way off yet. Just got to get through this first trimester, and then we can finally tell people, because it feels so long. It feels so long when you can't. And what was I going to add? When I speak about symptoms, actually, that's probably the other thing that maybe is I'm struggling with. I'm very hungry. So when I've got PTs back to back, especially if I put like 3 in back to back, I'm starving by the last one. So I need to start adding some snacks in, and then when they know, at least they'll get it. But I think it's just going to be a giveaway, isn't it? I start eating, snacking during people's sessions, which is very out of character. But anyway, I'm absolutely starving. Hub's not awake yet, so I'm going to eat my breakfast in peace, and then I'm taking her to a play cafe, and I'm taking her swimming, and we'll go shopping, and then get my nails done. So yes. Hello. Got a very look right now. I can't see much, but today is a very hot day. It's 33 degrees right now, so I'm in the paddling pool, feeling the heat actually. I did get down to sitting just now, but I'm back up to standing. I've got to go get Harper in a minute, so I need to dry off So yeah, today is a 9-week update. I'm trying to talk quietly in case anyone can overhear me with windows open everywhere. Not gonna lie, I felt really anxious about a couple of days. Yesterday I had a really weird day. Like my symptoms, I've just not had loads of symptoms. Like I've not felt overly sick. I've been more tired, but I've not been napping anymore. And obviously you shouldn't complain about that stuff, but equally it can't help but make you worry a little bit. And I feel like I've actually just deactivated Facebook, so I keep seeing all these bad news stories on there about all sorts. And I think it's just, I don't know, making the fear all kick in. And I think it's hard because at this point you don't tell anyone, can't talk to many people about it. I don't feel like I'm wearing nothing. Yeah, yesterday was a bad day, but I did some meditation. I've been trying to do yoga meditation and find specific ones around like anxiety and fears. So I think that'll be okay. I think once I get past 12 weeks and we tell more people, and obviously as it progresses, I feel a bit better. But I felt a bit happier today. Sunshine makes me happy. It's very hot, but I actually love it. And yeah, not many symptoms still, other than just probably way more hunger than usual. We had Carl's barbecue on Saturday, so we got a bottle of Prosecco and bottle of Prosecco, emptied it. Carl washed it out about 5 times, and then we poured Prosecco in, so everyone at the barbecue could see me drinking my Prosecco. Feel like it may have worked. My bestie Emma probably called me out because Carl was like, yeah, Lauren's drinking. She was like, oh, probably non-alcoholic though. I was like, she has no idea, but she did. She did call me out. So yeah, so now I've got an appointment on Thursday, so I'll update after that, and obviously a private one on scan on Saturday, and then we intend on telling my mum, dad and sister. I would have actually liked to have just been 12 weeks on like a big thing with everyone, but it just don't work because I've got my buyout and I've got Washington, so yeah, but that's a 9-week update. See up to. And hello! Carl's gone to pretend not to be hungover because he's a mess today after stereophonics. But we just had our private 9.5-week scan and all is looking amazing. Baby was wiggling around in there. So next stop is to the parents' house to tell parents and Sarah if she's actually in. If not, Sarah will have to know tomorrow. So today I go to Bob's. Didn't update yesterday after we told Mum, Dad and Saz. Turns out Mum was already on it anyway. She guessed it from like some of my eating habits, I think, because I was piling up the toast. My Weetabix Crispy Minis was my first time round craving, so yeah, I think she started twigging it. And then when I had my fake Prosecco, like my Prosecco in a bottle.
Mummy,
yeah.
Are we greedy?
Are we greedy? We are. We've been snacking on loads of mango. Yeah, then it almost threw her off. I think she was like, oh, Sarah's drinking, Lauren's drinking. You all finished? And then Sarah was like, well, it could have been non-alcoholic, so she gave the game away again. We tried, but anyway.
Kitchen.
Pardon?
Can I still kitchen?
I don't know what you were saying. So yeah, off to Mars anyway. So I'm glad they are aware.
Oi, Mummy.
Oh, look at the state of the house. What do you mean, oi? Don't be so rude. Put it in the sink, please. This one still actually doesn't know either. We still have to keep it under wraps. But yeah, looking forward to a few days of Barb's. Throw off the scent, try and make it look like I'm boozing. And even this morning, actually, I went to the gym. Sarah said one of the other things is because I'm not wearing my tight clothes as normal. It's all oversized, baggy. Like, this is such a rubbish time to have tied it, honestly. Last time, first trimester was January to March. Oi, stop saying that, you're so common. January to March is much easier. This time around it's been really difficult. But I'm feeling like less bloated anyway, not so bad. So I went to the gym with like a tight top, formed some bits, took a selfie that makes me look very tiny. So, you know, I'm trying to cover it up. But anyway, I'm going to do a separate Marbella vlog and again, try and cover it the entire time. And here we are, week 11. This is post-breakfast, to be fair. Bloating has not been as bad.
Can we go on holiday again?
We can go on holiday again if you start being good. This one's hitting teenagers as well. So I missed the 10-week update, I think. Oh, it's in my eye. There's not mega changes to be fair. Obviously had Marbella, so that was really fun. Amazing, actually, loved it. Even though obviously I couldn't drink, still made the most of it. And to be fair, when I was looking at those €18 Aperol spirits, I was thinking, at least I'm saving a little bit of money. So there's a pro. My sleep's not so good at the minute. Like, I'm waking up quite a lot in the night. So I wake up, need a wee, then I'm thirsty, go back to sleep for a bit, wake up, need a wee, thirsty. So it's like a cycle. I think I was awake for ages this morning as well after one of the wakes. Aside from that, my appetite's like quite as normal. There are some things I'm like not loving. I just really don't want anything sweet in the evening. I do try and force down some chocolate sometimes. It just doesn't make me feel great. So not having that so much, but still enjoying all my foods. Like, still having my oats for breakfast, hot or like overnight now, because I'm quite enjoying the hot ones again. Having avocado on toast because I just love that at the moment. Chicken, couscous, olives, that sort of thing for my like second lunch, I guess. Then I have Greek yogurt and frozen fruit, flax seeds, stuff like that. And then dinner is just my normal dinner most of the time. I have been loving the wood-fired pizzas that Morrison's do, actually. They're really good. So I had some of them. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think there's anything mega. Like, the sweet's probably the biggest thing. My bloating is not as horrendous at the moment, so sometimes I'm wearing tight tops, and I'm doing my absolute best to do like gym angles and film out of hours, so I can actually look like I haven't got anything going on there anyway. But yeah, today is a Wednesday anyway, so I've got a week to my scan. So yeah, don't think there's much more to update, to be honest with you. Week till the scan, and then I literally fly to Washington the next day. So it'll be scan, tell everyone that we want to tell that night, then I have to tell the girls, and then get through a very hot, humid Washington trip. It's more the jet lag, actually. I think that will phase me. But yeah, we move. Week 11, here we are. Just as an example, yeah, not me using my laptop as a tray. This is like my daily lunch. So I've had today my oats with peanut butter. Then when I got back from the gym, I've had I had 2 slices of toast and a whole avocado because I just love the avocado on toast. And now I'm enjoying my normal lunch, which is chicken couscous, load of the Nando sauce, olives. I've been snacking on some of them while I was cooking the chicken, and some salad. This is very different this time around. I'm just loving the fresh foods, the salads, the whole foods, rather than like chocolate and stuff. So might be a boy. Hey, so it's currently 1:45 on, I can't remember, Wednesday the 23rd. So today is 12 weeks. All right, I'll put the next one on. 12-week scan day. It's meant to be at 3:30. Then at 12:30 got a message asking if we can do 1:30. Totally unreasonable, really, for Carl. Although I would have happily done it. Oh God, don't know why I've started this when this one's here. What about this one? Ola. Yeah? Alright, take 2 because we found Anna singing. So, I'm going to turn it down for 1 second. Yeah, so I was meant to have the scan at 3:30 and now it's going to be 2:30 anyway. So I've only got probably 25 minutes so I'm going to leave. So yeah, feeling very, to be honest with you, I'm actually feeling so anxious. Like yesterday I had a real anxious day. I just think I need to stay off social media because like I feel okay, and then I see some sort of reel pop up pregnancy related, then you go in the comments and then people have like shared a story and then it freaks me out again. So yeah, I need to stop looking and reading stuff, try and stay positive. But yeah, trying to also be excited as well, so we'll let you know after, I guess, how it goes. And then obviously all things being good, which they will be, I'm sure, Carl wants to tell this little one, who's already got a very strong opinion on what gender she would want. Harper, what would you be if you had a little brother?
I want a sister.
You want a sister, but what if you had a brother?
I want a sister.
Yeah, but what if you got a brother?
I will be angry.
Well, hello. So this is my 13-week update, and I've realised I'm kind of pushing into second trimester now, even though this is my first trimester vlog. So I guess I should round us up a little bit. I feel like after the scan and after telling Harper, I had to obviously go to Washington, so I was just super busy and didn't really update. But yeah, Harper took it kind of strange. Like, she didn't really react, and then she'd like walked out the room and gone to the sofa and sort of was just laying there like staring. So I just sat up and I was like, do you want to cuddle? And then she cuddled me for like 5 minutes and I just didn't talk about it. And then a little bit later we was playing with Barbie, and then she started talking about Barbie's got a baby in her tummy, and then we was playing with them, and then she was like, Mummy, how does the baby come out of your tummy? I was like, I swear you're too young to ask that question. So yeah, I was like, oh, well, you have your belly button, and then they kind of just open it and the baby comes up there. Yeah, and then she seemed cool and chill, and then since then obviously I went away and she hasn't mentioned it like at all. She didn't mention it to anyone. She hasn't mentioned it since I've been back, so maybe that's not a bad thing. I don't know if she's forgotten or she just, it kind of was mentioned and then I went. So yeah, I'm not sure. But obviously it's quite big news for her, so we'll see. But anyway, I've booked a private gender scan anyway for the 23rd of August. So I think this vlog will probably go live after that, because I said I was kind of going to wait until then to announce anything. Yeah, so just, I think 3 weeks maybe. Let's have a look. What have we got? Oh no, 1, 2, oh yeah, 3.5 weeks. And 3.5 weeks we will know. So hopefully by then she'll come around to the idea. And then when we find out what the gender is, we'll see what she says. I want to video it because she could give us a TikTok reaction if the room turns blue. See, Washington's different. Like, it's so hot, and I did keep worrying about like overheating and stuff. Had my parasol, my neck fans, stayed so hydrated. So I've been peeing like next level. What is that? So yeah, in terms of ending my second trimester, how I've been feeling, still quite anxious. I think Washington made me a little bit anxious, and I don't know why. I went away loads in my first pregnancy, but this time around I just felt differently. I knew it was gonna be hot and humid, so I had to be very mindful to make sure that I did not want to overheat. I stayed very hydrated, and honestly I peed so much the girls were like, what the hell? But I just kept drinking like cold water, and I have to have ice cold water. It can't be like room temp water. So yeah, I think that was like my worst thing. Tiredness has probably been there, but I'm also jet lagged, so it's kind of like both. Haven't felt like sick at all. I haven't been sick at all throughout my whole thing. I've just had days here and there where I felt a bit nauseous, but yeah, I've literally felt fine. Like, being away, I felt fine, enjoyed food. Still don't want coffee, and I don't really like chocolate either, and I'm really sad about that because I would love to be rinsing it right now. But yeah, overall it's been quite a nice first trimester. My worst thing has literally been me being in my head, all anxious and nervous, and also the amount I just have to pee constantly. Although last night I was so jet lagged, I only got for two wees. That's quite unusual. Normally I'm like, I don't know, every couple of hours at home. Every couple of hours, and then because I drink water because I'm so thirsty when I wake up, then I wake up again and go. So it's a fun cycle. But yeah, so I guess this is the end of my first trimester vlog, because I'm like 13 weeks, so I should probably start my second trimester one next week. Although, yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be that exciting. But yeah. Oh, and I guess in terms of telling friends and family, we've just told very close friends and family now. Like, I couldn't have gone to Washington and not told the girls anyway. But yeah, I was like, oh, do you know what? The later you kind of tell people, it's a bit nicer. Like last time I told, like the girls knew, like everyone knew on the day we did the test, and I was like 5 weeks, and they was like, that lasted forever. So I was like, oh, this time I want it to last a bit longer. So it's nice they kind of find out really about 13 weeks. Yeah, and hopefully if more people like find out maybe more like 16, 17 weeks, it just won't feel so long. And also for Harper's feelings, she does need to get used to it, but I think at the moment she just took it a bit weird. So yeah, we'll have to obviously bear that in mind, bless her. And if it is a boy, then oh my god, pray for us. But yeah, but if you made it here, thank you so much for watching my first trimester vlog, and I guess stay tuned for the second trimester one.